Woohoo! Let's see if it stays where I'm sitting. Probably not. We shall see. Hello, everybody. I will wait until everybody is here. Doing something on my computer anyway, so it's alright. Happy Saturday, everybody. How's it going? Welcome to yet another amazing live stream on my channel. Hope everybody's doing well. Just a quick reminder to everybody, I now stream from my phone, so I don't always have the comments available to read because I have to scroll on my screen because they disappear. So if I miss something you say, don't be afraid to post it again, but do beware of posting something too many times because they could consider it spam and they could ban you, so be careful. But I just want to make sure you guys are aware that that's a thing that can happen. Also, I have seen the new episode of the Sander Sides, or the Sander Asides. I have seen it, and I did record my react to it. The video will be edited very soon. Definitely not something that CJ and I expected to have to watch at 11 o'clock last night. We were actually in the middle of trying out the new Five Nights at Freddy's game for phones, the new app, the special delivery AR. We were trying it out, and I got a notification from YouTube, and yeah, so I was spoiled to the name of the episode and the thumbnail. I usually try to keep that a secret until I actually react, but I wasn't able to because I didn't know it was coming out. Usually I turn off Thomas's notifications. That way, only thing that I can be like is someone's like, oh, it's live. So yeah, so that's a thing. But other than that, I'm here to. I'm working on my new avatar for my Tumblr because it's Christmas time and I wanted something Christmassy, so I'm working on that right now. But I also figured you can't see it because I have long hair, but I do have my earbud in. I was thinking maybe we could maybe talk about the episode, and I might pull it up on my computer and kind of rewatch so I can specifically tell you guys what I want to talk about when it comes to the new episode, because I really liked it. I'm glad it was short, and I'm glad that we got some canon, I guess there's some canon things in there, and yet there are also some things that it was funny. It was canon, but it didn't have to do with what was going on in the episodes right now, and I think that's really, really snazzy. Let me see. I was going to try, the other reason I have my headphone in is because I was going to try to look at my own video, on YouTube to see if I could look at the comments that way, the live chat, because it's really hard to always make sure I can see your, comments. I don't want to miss anybody's comments. I want to make sure that I see everybody's stuff. So let me see if I can do this. It would be really weird. Yeah, it does say I can look at it. All right. Oh God, there's an echo of me. All right, I muted myself. So this would give me the ability, I think, to look at the live. Let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stare at myself to be able to do this. Okay, so I'm gonna scroll back up and read through everybody's stuff just to be sure that I didn't miss anything. I'm sorry my bed is a disaster, by the way, because I didn't want to move the kitties. They were having fun back there, so I didn't want to mess up their fun, I guess. And there is a little bit of a delay in what I actually say and what's actually showing up on the screen, so that's actually kind of cool. But anyway, okay, so Nana's already busy. She's already got a theory for us. I will come back to that in just a minute. Cheesy the Goat, I agree. I do wish that there was more deceit in the episode. But to be fair, deceit would have to be a focus of an Asides episode to really make it worth doing all the snake makeup. I feel like that's really difficult. Hello, Anna Marie. I'm glad you could make it back too. And Lottie, yeah, I'll talk about the new merch. Give me a second. Yeah, gotcha too. Were you getting any of the new sweaters? In a second. And then Izzy Pack, you bought a sweater? Oh, which sweater did you buy, Izzy? I'm curious. Okay, so I'm caught up now. So, okay, the new sweaters. So for those of you who haven't seen, I'm gonna shut this because it's hard to like. I keep seeing a mirror image of myself. For those of you who saw, they have the new sweaters that came out yesterday, as well as matching scarves. Oh, it's awesome! Is you got the Logan one? Nice. So they had matching scarves with the shirt. Those were all designed by Bree Grace, by the way, guys. Just so you know. They were designed by Bree. I'm in a Discord with her and a couple of other standard creators, and she talked about how it was really like she was really under stress about knowing how it was gonna look when it got done, like the actual like printing and stuff. Um, but anyway, I'm an adult and I do what I want, and I bought everything. Is that terrible? I mean, that's terrible, isn't it? That's terrible. But no, I actually did. I bought everything. I bought both bundles of the sweaters and the uh scarves. Uh I didn't the thing is I didn't buy any of the shirts that came out recently. Um and the reason why I didn't is because I wanted to wait and see what the sweaters were going to look like first. I will probably eventually buy the shirts because I really like them, and I really hope they restock on. Hey Maxie, that's a good idea. That's actually a really good idea to save on shipping. How much is shipping for the new store for you guys to Europe? Because I have to say this, the new company that Thomas is using is so much better than District Lines, okay? Like so much cheaper. Like okay, I have all of the regular 8 sweaters that have come out, right? I bought them all individually because one I don't think that that District Lines allowed a bundle the way that the new store does. And also District Lines charged you shipping for each individual item. Guys, I bought all 6 new sweaters and all 6 new scarves. I keep forgetting the word. It only cost me $20 to ship it all. If that had been District Lines, it would have been another $150. I guarantee it. Because for some reason they wanted to charge shipping on each individual thing. And it's just like, ugh, no. Ayeka, yes, I am. I am making a new React video. It's going to be in the editing process after this live stream's over. It probably won't be up until maybe tomorrow, but it might be closer to Monday before I get it up. Gotcha Tube, you want to know how much money it was? It was $571, which is really bad. But you have to remember that, like, I spent more over time on the other 4 sweaters from the last time there were sweaters than I did this time, and there are 2 more additional sweaters. Like, you have to remember, these sweaters are very custom. It's not gonna be cheap. And I never expected that. Like, when I came into it, I was more than willing to spend a lot of money on the sweaters when I knew they were going to come out. Oh, Mathis, everybody's reacting to how much money I spent on all the new merch. Sorry. But yeah, like I feel really bad for those of you that are in different parts of the... How much is shipping Emo Nightmare to Brazil? Because the shipping for everything that I bought was only $20, and I live in the United States, obviously. But Maxie said the shipping to Europe was also $20. So is it... I mean, that's a lot less than District Lines was. Like, District Lines would have been a heck of a lot more. So whatever Thomas and Company did for their the new place they're selling stuff at is a very big deal. And we need to definitely, like, if you had the money to buy anything at all, definitely support this new place. because that means eventually we're going to be eventually we might he eventually Thomas might get to the point where he can sell stuff on on like a layaway service, which I don't know if you all know what that means, but pretty much it's kind of like I think Walmart has layaway, but it's only like during specific periods of the year now. But when I was a kid, stores had layaways all the time. Like you could go back there and be like, "Hey, I want to buy this vacuum cleaner that's $300, but I don't have $300, so I'm gonna put it on layaway." They hold it for you, and you have X amount of time to pay for it. And then once you pay for it, you can come pick it up. So it's kind of like pre-buying, but you get to pay over time. And I know Game Theory's merch you can do that with, and I think you can do that with Markiplier's merch and Jacksepticeye's merch. But those are obviously a lot bigger YouTubers than Thomas. Like they have, you know, almost 10 million more subscribers. So yeah, that it's a little different. But but yeah. So anyway, beyond the point of the sweaters and scarves. I also do want to talk about the episode, obviously, because that's what these are for. I really want to approach this the right way. I am very happy that hey Izzy, that's awesome. I'm glad your parents support what you like, because mine didn't always. Okay, so I'm wearing my Virgil sweater today in a thank you nod to Virgil from the episode of the Asides, because he said something to Patton that I've wanted to say for a very long time to Patton. He basically called him a hypocrite. But I wanted a real episode too, Mathis, not an Asides, but I think this is a nice middle ground of between having a new episode and getting some type of content. And that's always been my thing when it comes to the Sandersides, is I love them. I'm really happy that we get a lot of episodes. But at the same time, like I want more content, and it doesn't have to be as deep. Like the TikTok was a great start, and I think us reacting to that the way that we did as a fandom really told Thomas that we will take any kind of content. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it has to do with our boys. And so that's where these little side episodes came up. Now I know in the original member live stream, their idea was to only make them like 5 minutes long. This was 19 minutes. So to be fair, it is a longer episode than like the short ones back when the series first started. But I think that's almost necessary, because the characters are so much more developed now than they were then. So that's pretty much where I want to start. So I'm actually going to go back. I'm going to open my computer. So I'm going to go to the episode real quick. So if you guys want to watch with me, you can watch with me. You won't be able to hear it or anything, but I'll tell you when I hit start. I'm going to skip the ad at the beginning, and I'm going to rewatch and pause and talk to you guys about some specific scenes in the episode. And yeah, I know the promo takes up about 5 minutes. I think it's funny that he did Raid Shadow Legends like everybody else does. It just tells you right there that Raid Shadow Legends is just trying to appeal to like literally everybody. I will tell out the timestamp here in just 1 second, guys. I just got to get it pulled up on my... Okay, let's see. So the timestamp... Alright, we're going to start right after the pictures, like when the episode actually starts, after the intro. And I love the A in the asides. Like, that was really good. Okay, so our timestamp to start is 2 minutes and 7 seconds. That's where I'm going to start the video. And I'm going to keep pausing it, so you don't really have to follow along. I wish I had the technology to be like, watch the video up here or whatever. But yeah, so let's see how this goes. And I don't and guys, don't think that I'm sitting here telling you guys I bought all the merch because I want you to feel bad or anything like that. Like, trust me, if I was a millionaire, I would I would definitely buy like everybody sweaters. I would buy everybody everything. Thomas would sell out immediately because I would buy them all and then give them away. I have no way of sharing my screen because I have no idea how to do that, and my computer wouldn't be able to do it anyway because my computer is ancient and it messes up. Um, it's really, really old, and because like I haven't finished editing it yet, but I did do a video for um, I did make a video for the a heist with Markiplier, and I tried to record my computer screen, and halfway through I screwed it up. My computer overheated because it was too much for it to process, like the OBS recording and YouTube and my recording of my audio. So anyway, all right. So we're gonna start. I'm gonna rewatch the episode with you guys. Not entirely. I'm gonna skip around a little bit, but if you guys want to start with me, um, I'm gonna start at 2 minutes and 7 seconds, and then I'm gonna pause and talk about whatever gets said, and then I'm gonna restart it again. I'm very sorry that this is probably gonna be boring at first if you don't follow along because it's gonna be quiet. But like Lottie said, I don't want copyright on my stream because I do monetize these streams. So I don't want copyright. It would be difficult. I don't even know how I would put it on the screen. I wish I could. I need some water, but I forgot to bring some up here, but that's okay. All right. So here we go. Okay, so I paused it right after Rowan talks about the, how bad running away can be. Um, so you'll see it in my react, but when you first get that shot of all the sides there together on screen and Thomas, I freak out. Like I literally was just like, "Oh my god, it's all of our boys!" Like, and it's such a casual setting. It's such a casual setting of all of them together. I really, really love that. I thought the editing was top notch. I would love to know. Yeah, I know, Nana. I know. I'm such a hypocrite because I talk about spending on the merch and then not buying a new computer. But anyway, but no, like that shot is so well edited. I am disappointed because of the way green screen technology works that they really can't get them any closer together because then it would mess up with them getting cut off like their hands or something. So they want it to look pretty unique. They want it to look like you can see them all. Yeah, and I love how like really none of them are sitting right other than Logan. Like Patton's on the floor and so is Roman. He's in like a pile of pillows. Um, but my favorite onesie is still Logan's. I know it doesn't show up until the end card, but Logan's is still my favorite. I really like Virgil's. I really like Virgil's. I guess it's just a regular skeleton because, like, in my react, I thought it looked like Jack Skellington, but I guess it's not. I guess it's just like a regular skeleton. Skellington? What? A regular skeleton onesie. But already in the episode, we already have a little bit of I guess canon stuff to talk about. Where like Roman kind of accidentally insults Virgil, but then when Patton's like, be nice, Roman is like, oh, that wasn't nice? Oops, I agree with your other one. And it's like, that's canon, the fact that Roman doesn't realize that he's being mean, that he's saying something that could be interpreted as negative or interpreted as being mean to someone. And I like that. I think that's very good to show that like Roman teasing, while it can look mean, and in past episodes it could look mean, but he's actually being nice. So he's trying to compliment or trying to understand the situation. So I thought that was pretty good. Um, I also love the shot of of where Virgil's talking as a close up, and then it zooms out to him talking while all of them are there, and then it goes back in to him talking individually. It really gives the idea that they're all actually sitting there together. Um, I can hear a slight audio thing there. The cut, I guess, that you could talk from between Virgil talking when it zoomed in and Virgil talking when it zoomed out. I can tell that they're different audio takes, but I mean, it's hard to do that. I don't know if you could do that seamlessly because of the fact that you have, same, all the same dude. Um, but anyway, so let's continue. I'm restarting at timestamp 2 minutes and 33 seconds. So let's see. Okay, so I stopped at 2 minutes and 58 seconds. Okay, so um the idea of Roman uh kind of swaying the votes and like making them watch Frozen pretty much. Like, okay, a lot of people were joking around saying that like now that we know that's Deceit's hat, like obviously it couldn't tell the truth, so it just lied and it doesn't say everything it's supposed to say or whatever. Um Guys, you have to remember that stuff is custom. The shipping is going to be expensive, guys. And thing is it with if it had been District Lines, it would have been a lot more. So, but if you guys rather talk about something else, I don't have to rewatch the episode. I know it's boring because you guys can't see my screen, so we can do something else. Well, I don't want to do it if no one's following along. Well, Jack, this isn't technically my genuine reaction. It's just I'm just discussing what's happening in the episode. But anyway, okay. I do like the fact that I think that it's interesting that um that Patton reacts to uh to Logan saying that the onesies are childish. Um because he does wonder he does wonder why Logan would say that, considering Logan was the one that gave him the cat onesie. And moving on, part two, and I have to agree. Like, is that an indirect call out of Logan saying that Patton is childish? Like, I don't know, but I thought that was interesting. And then, of course, Roman just being like, "You don't get a vote because you didn't wear a onesie," and like it's like a little brother kind of thing. Like the relationship between Logan and Roman is kind of like you know a sibling thing to where like you didn't play along, so you don't get to play at all. So that's what that reminds me of. But anyway, okay, I'm gonna restart from 2 minutes and 58 seconds. So that's where I'm gonna restart. Okay, so stopped at 3 minutes and 21 seconds. Okay, so this is the first of like 3 callouts that Virgil does towards Patton, okay? Thank God, because I needed somebody to call out Patton in canon, and I'm kind of glad it was Virgil because he's my favorite. Like I said, I'm missing some of your all's comments. So anyway, so in this scene here, we have Thomas. Well, we have Thomas. He's decided to watch Frozen with everybody because he's trying to like distract himself from a decision that he made or something that happened that we haven't been told about yet. And I think it's very interesting that Patton is obviously trying to lighten the mood, because he can feel that everybody's still kind of little on edge. And like Patton's just like, how can Thomas feel bad, BAD about his inner DAD? And Virgil's just like, I can think of more ways than one, which is obviously a callback to his SVS decision and all the stuff about the callback, which we now basically have canon confirmation that the callback has not happened yet, and neither has the wedding. So that means that we are still on the table of deciding whether or not we're going to go to the callback or the wedding yet. That still hasn't been fully decided. And then Patton's face at timestamp 321 tells you he's not happy with that. And I do think it's interesting that Virgil is now kind of flip-flopped. I mean, think about it. He's the one calling out that Thomas is upset with Patton in terms of the lying stuff and the stuff that happened in SVS. It's interesting, and Northlight, you're right. It means more coming from Virgil because Virgil was on Patton's side. He was. But now that Virgil has begun to see how much it's affecting Thomas to think about missing the callback all the time, it's starting to make Virgil realize how upset Thomas is with Patton because he actually does want to go to the callback, not the wedding. And I think that's and Maxie, you're right. Anxiety changes a lot, and I think the anxiety of missing something is becoming more important than the anxiety of skipping the wedding. I think that's in Thomas's mind now that Thomas made the decision to go. Well, he didn't make the decision. Roman made the decision for him, but you know what I mean. Like Roman sentencing Thomas to go to the wedding, which almost sounds like a punishment. It kind of made Virgil flip because now Virgil feels the anxiety of Thomas saying, I don't get to go to this callback anymore. This is a thing that's very important to me. So now Virgil can feel, I don't want to say animosity because that's like a really bad word, but like he can feel the kind of frustration that Thomas is putting towards Patton on the idea of missing the callback. But yeah, so we're gonna restart again, 321, and then we will talk more at the end about everything as a whole. Okay, so I stopped again at 339, and the reason I did is because I don't know how I feel about Roman calling Thomas a snowflake. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't, okay. I'm a millennial. I'm an older millennial, because I was born in 1990. So I'm not a fan of the snowflake analogies, and I think it's funny, but at the same time, I'm just like, this is the old song and dance. I'm not a fan of it. Yeah, and Patton's face on the screenshot's pretty funny. But like, this scene here where like if a distraction is a good idea. Also, important to note, this episode was originally just called Healthy Distractions, and now it's called Are There Healthy Distractions? So yeah. Well, Nana, pretty much the idea Snowflake came from the older generation talking about millennials. And pretty much the idea is that we're all so sensitive, we're little snowflakes, that because we we're so weak, we're unhelpful that we want everything for free. And obviously it's meant as a one-off joke. I get that, but at the same time I'm just kind of like, did we really need that in a Sandersides episode? I don't know. It made me feel weird even when watching it. I thought it was weird. I don't react to it because I'm just kind of like, really? A snowflake joke? But okay, whatever. It doesn't really matter. But Logan's right too. Like the idea of having a distraction can be good over time. Well, unfortunately, Riley, are you talking? Okay, gotcha too. But are you talking about like making Sanders size themed onesies? Because that would be pretty cool. He couldn't sell the ones he wears in the episodes because they exist already. Um, and Izzy, no, it's not a compliment. It's an insult. It's an insult. Roman insulted Thomas because he's being super sensitive because he's a sensitive snowflake in this one. But anyway, so we're gonna restart at 3:39 and go. Okay, so I paused at 4:13. Okay, so I Patton is doing that thing again. He's doing that thing again that I can't handle and I wish would stop because I miss Patton when he was more serious. I miss that he everything that comes out of his mouth is either a joke or a pun anymore. And the first thing he does upon the video starting or the movie starting is um is make a pun on the ice stuff. Because Roman's trying to actually talk about the movie in terms of like the song being not that great. Because like I honestly agree the song isn't that great at the beginning. The beginning's very confusing for Frozen. I don't know why they bother showing that, other than an introduction to Kristoff. But why does Patton feel the need to make puns there? Like what is the point when Roman is trying to critique the actual movie? It's so awkward. It's weird. Roman calls Patton out on it, like, oh god, here we go. Like we're gonna do this again, the same song and dance again. Okay. And then you also have Logan being like, I'm gonna need you to stop. Like, because it's kind of like, okay, imagine you had a friend when they were around that everything they said that came out of their mouth was a joke about the situation. Like, there was really no filter to be consistently adult about a situation. Um, and I'm not saying the song is terrible, Evelyn. I'm not saying that it's like an absolute terrible song, but like it doesn't really it's an analogy that wasn't needed. Um and over time I feel like Patton should learn better to kind of I guess it gets frustrating when you know the people around you are trying to do something serious and yet they still make jokes. Like, I don't want to joke about this right now. I want to watch the movie. I want to either, if it's a movie I've seen a lot, I want to critique the movie. I don't want to make jokes about the movie. Jokes that I guarantee have crossed over Patton's mind over and over and over again. Jokes he's made before. Um, I, I don't know. So we're going to continue. We're starting at 4:13. I just felt like both Roman and Logan jumping on his case is kind of understandable for me, at least. But let's restart. Okay, paused it at 4:54 again. So I do like this idea that um that it's kind of like whenever you do watch something that you're trying to distract yourself from an actual problem, your brain is doing two things at once, because you have your creativity and your side that enjoys movies and enjoys things over here trying to enjoy the movie, trying to critique the movie, trying to discuss the movie, and then you also have the other side of you that's too focused on trying to solve the problem that happened that you're trying to distract yourself from. uh and they kind of get they fight. Like, you can watch Roman, they go back to him a couple times, he's annoyed because they're talking over the movie, they're not watching it. And I really hate whenever I'm watching a movie and people talk over it. um oh, and Philip Patton wasn't drinking there. I think he's supposed to be drinking hot chocolate or coffee, and he's blowing on it to kind of cool it off. I don't think he's meant to be drinking there. I don't think. At least not. That's not what it looks like to me. Maybe it is. I don't think they'll do the I didn't see who said it because it went by really fast, but I don't think anybody's posing as Patton here. No, I think all the sides are themselves here because Patton has his actual hoodie, the cat hoodie. Yeah, I was gonna say, and all the sides we know are here, and Thomas has said that nothing major will happen in these episodes in the asides. So this is Patton. Unfortunately, this is Patton. This is Patton. Uh, as much as that is unfortunate, but yeah, it is Patton. But yeah, so and it's important to have the talk with that Virgil and Roman are having, Logan, because of the fact that it is important to recognize that we can't always fix everything. We have to um, we have to focus externally on certain things and internally on other things, and uh, it's not always possible to immediately fix a problem. But anyway, so we're gonna go back and start over again. We're gonna start at 4:54. Okay. Okay, paused it at 5:25. Okay, okay. So there's really not much that happens here, but whenever the troll grandfather says that the heart cannot be easily changed, and Logan's just like, uh, and then Logan's just like, this is right, and Patton's like, huh? It's like, yeah, no, that's exactly their issue, is that the heart can't be easily swayed, and Patton is very set in his ways, at least recently, and I think that's a nod to that. And also, I see you guys talking about, in the buff means naked, it means nude, so that's why Remus is nude. He's talking about like being in the buff and being naked. That's the joke. We'll get to that eventually. But yeah, so let's restart at 5:25. Sorry, I immediately paused it again. But whenever the troll grandfather's just like, the head can be persuaded, and Roman's like, can it though? And he kind of like leans toward Logan. It would have been great if we'd gotten like a quick shot of Logan just rolling his eyes or something. That would have been hilarious. But yeah, like it's difficult. And see, and a lot of saying, okay, so Virgil reacts to the line, fear will be your enemy. It's very important to remember, though, that the portrayal of what the troll grandfather says here is very wrong. It's very wrong. And the way that Elsa's parents lock her up and hide her powers is also not something that should have happened. It's something I really disagree with when it comes to Frozen, and one of the reasons why I think that it's very important that people understand. I'm going to start talking about Frozen for a minute, but I will get back to the analogy with Virgil. But I'm at 5:34, Philip, right now. I paused it again. I think it's very important to note that the way that Elsa's parents treat her ice powers is very reminiscent of how parents sometimes treat a child's disability. They try to hide it from people, they lock their child away, and they want their child to be the same, so they force their child to act normal. Which is kind of what Elsa's parents have her do. They, conceal, don't feel, don't let it show. It's not healthy at all, and a very, very bad way of treating a child who is different, because not only did it harm Elsa, it also harmed Anna growing up as well. And the troll scaring her into not using her powers is even worse, because of the fact that you have to think about the fact that Elsa looks, I don't know, 7 or 8 years old right there. Like, he's literally scaring her into saying that fear will be her downfall. And it's just like, I don't know why the story was told that way. Like, it would have been more sense that, like, you need to accept that these things are a part of you. And so that's the issue, that, like, because now we have Virgil watching this scene, and Virgil's going to sit there and take that as, oh, fear is a bad thing, which means I'm a bad thing, because Virgil, I believe, was part fear at some point. I feel like he still is. So that is the reason why I think Virgil has a reaction there, because he's just kind of like, fear will be your downfall. Wait, what? Like me? So that's why I'm kind of like, I don't really like Frozen all that much, because of the idea between how Elsa's parents treat her is definitely not good. I don't. Okay, Defo Days. I kind of agree with you, but at the same time, I don't. I don't think any of the sides hate each other. I think they all kind of do that the coworker kind of thing, where, like, yeah, that guy's an annoying coworker, but I mean, he's needed. What he does is important. I think it's more along the lines of, like, maybe the parents could represent deceit, but I don't think deceit was that. I don't think his intentions were that evil. At least I don't believe so. And I actually have a really old theory that Virgil was, like, the leader of the dark sides. It's a very old theory that it would take a very long time to talk about, but I don't know, maybe it could be a video someday. I don't know. But anyway, so let us continue the rewatch. We're starting at Mathis. No, I was supposed to see Frozen 2 last night with my brother and CJ, but we didn't pre-buy tickets, and it was sold out, so we weren't able to see it. But I am seeing it tomorrow with my brother and CJ. We're going tomorrow afternoon if my brother gets off work, so I will be able to talk about Frozen 2 then. But anyway, so let us continue. We're going to start at 5:34. Nice shout out to Joan, was pretty good. The passage of time is really insane. Okay, pause at 6:06. Okay, so we have the stuff with, Virgil being real anxious about the passage of time, which is true. Like, my anxiety does that a lot too. Like, I'm not a big fan of TikTok noises because of that idea. Like, it's literally counting down the seconds of my life. But then you also have the part where Elsa is saying goodbye to her parents. And of course, Thomas has seen this movie before, so he knows they're going to die. So then Remus pops up, and I love the fact that um, that we have this that Remus is just like, they're not coming back because they're gonna die. And yeah, and he does say in the buff there, so he is talking about being nude, which I'm not surprised. Yeah. And they say, Daffodils, I'm just trying to do this rewatch. I can't keep, like, if you want to wait and save your questions to when I'm done, then we can talk about everything that's not related to the new episode. I mean, that's possible they might be wearing what they wear to bed. Well, I don't think Logan would be completely dressed. He just didn't wear a onesie. But actually, if you've been a fan for Thomas long enough, you would know that Thomas himself, as an actual person, sleeps naked. It's a little fun fact for you guys if you haven't been a fan of Thomas for that long. It's in a very old video with him and John Cozart. It's an old video. Because they're doing a guess about me or something like that. Oh, I'm at 606. I'm at 606. No, he does. This was a video about him and himself. I can find the video, but it's a video about it's a video about him and John Cozart, like if they were compatible to date or whatever, so they have to answer questions about each other. And one of the questions is, what do you wear to bed? And John says like pajamas or something like that, and Thomas is just like, no, I don't wear anything to bed. He literally says it just like that. I don't wear anything to bed. And the camera just zooms in on John, and he's just like, what? It's just so funny. But that video is pretty old. But yeah, so I think the fact that Remus is naked and it's supposed to be like a late night kind of thing, I think Remus is a reference to that. Reference to the fact that Thomas sleeps nude. But I mean, he's an adult. He can do whatever the fuck he wants. Anyway, all right, so we're gonna restart. Yeah, gotcha. That's the video it is. I got shipped with John Cozart. That's the video. That's the video where that happens in. Mm-hmm. That's it. That's a pretty old video, isn't it? I don't remember. But anyway, okay, so we're gonna start at 606. You guys ready? Let's do it. Okay, paused it at 6:48. Whoo boy. Okay, so we just got the line. So we just got the line that everybody's been spilling tea about, and it's the when Virgil calls out Patton for not doing anything. Maxie, no, the video does not have subtitles yet. It is just the auto-generated ones. I don't see. Yeah, no, there are no subtitles yet. Okay, so all right, so this scene is very important here. And the reason is because of the fact that okay, Patton is a hypocrite. And I think calling him out in this way is the best way of doing it, because Virgil is not insulting Patton here. He's literally talking about stuff that has happened before. He's literally speaking on the idea that how dare you say that, how can you say that, like, it's time to just calm down and get over it whenever you don't do that either. Like, you're saying that I'm doing something wrong whenever you do it too. It's the old phrase of the pot calling the kettle black when the pot is already black itself. Um so that's I'm really glad Virgil said something out of all the sides, because I feel like out of all of them, Patton would listen to Virgil the most. And it's just kind of like Virgil's position matters because Virgil's probably the truest interpretation of how Thomas feels about a certain situation. Like, I'm trying to phrase this in the best way possible, and I'm really not good at it. Without a script, without like think about it. So being live is kind of difficult for me sometimes because I trip over my words. Pretty much, Virgil has taken the position of not being able to fully explain things without being told to calm down, or being told that you're taking things too much out of context. Like, no, you can't do that to your own emotions. You need to be able to discuss things and actually be open about the things that are bothering you. Again, not only is Patton being a hypocrite, but he's also making Thomas repress it again. And whoever asked if Patton is being emotionally manipulative, no, I don't think he's doing it on purpose. I think this is a learned process that Patton has gotten from Thomas's upbringing. So no, I don't think this is on purpose. I don't think anything Patton does is on purpose in a malicious intent. I don't think that that's the case at all. And it's not necessarily the fact that Patton doing it is not the problem, and it's not necessarily and emo nightmare. It's not worse either. Like, don't take it like that. The best way to explain it is that whenever someone is manipulative in a positive light, it's less obvious to the person doing it. Because Patton wants everybody to be happy. He wants. Okay, how many of you have ever seen Avatar: The Last Airbender? I really want to know. How many of you have actually seen that series? Has anybody watched Avatar: The Last Airbender? Specifically season 2. Because this analogy is going to be needed for that. So, when Aang and the gang show up to Ba Sing Se, the Earth Kingdom is very negative. Okay, so most of you have. Okay, so I'll try to explain it in a way that makes sense to everybody. Okay, so Aang and his friends come to the Earth Kingdom. The Earth Kingdom and the Earth King and everything, they're literally trying to pretend that the Fire Nation doesn't exist. That the war that is going on in their world and overtaking everything is non-existent. To the point that you learn later on, as Aang and the gang get into the Earth Kingdom and get into the castle, that you learn that they're actually manipulating people into believing that everything is fine. That there's nothing that's going on wrong. Like, the king doesn't even know. His subordinates are keeping it hidden from him. And they don't want him to know that there's actually a war going on outside his walls of his kingdom. And there's a scene where they're actually trying to get one of the characters that everybody knows that's not from the kingdom. They literally trap him in a room with one of the Earth Kingdom soldiers, and they literally hypnotize him into believing that there is no war in Ba Sing Se. And that is almost kind of similar to what Patton is doing, because technically, if you manipulate somebody into thinking that, like in the situation with Avatar: Last Airbender, believing that there's not a war is a good thing, because it's the idea that you can live on happily, that you don't have to be scared or stressed about things you can't control and about losing your home and all that stuff. Um, if you don't believe there's a war, then you're happy. You're in a good mood. You're not upset. You're not scared. You're not sad or whatever. Um, that's very reminiscent to what Patton is doing and has been doing for a while. Is the idea that no, nothing's wrong. Everything's fine. There's nothing happening. It's okay if we relax. It's okay if we take our time. And everybody's like, oh, well, Patton's just trying to help. He's just trying to help. But is that actually helping? Is pretending that something isn't occurring the best way to go about doing this? I don't think so. I don't think that's the case. And I think that Patton consistently saying that everything's okay, that it's okay to take a break, that it's okay to ignore the situation right now. Is it okay? Patton doesn't realize that he's actually being a positive negative. He's repressing how the situation is moving along, and he shouldn't do that. And I think that's what Virgil is calling him out on the most. It's just like, are you, and here's the thing is, Patton is not doing it purposely. This is how Thomas has lived his entire life. I feel like Thomas has always lived with this idea that if we work towards things for others and we work towards things that are positive instead of negative, and just not worry about the negative stuff, like just distract myself and move on, that we will be able to be happy in life and we can worry about stuff later. I don't think that's the best way to do this at all. And I'm hoping that in later episodes we get that. I'm really thinking that we will. And yeah, Daffodil's, you're right. It's like good karma but twisted. It's kind of like you did something good for somebody else and you're expecting, it's like a boomerang. You throw the boomerang expecting, you throw the boomerang as a good thing, and you're like, I did something, really good, and it comes back at you, but for some reason you don't catch it. It comes back to come back to you, like the good karma you threw away comes back to you. But for some reason, instead of catching it, you're letting it hit you in the face. I don't know why you would do that. Wouldn't you want to catch the good stuff? Like, wouldn't you want the good stuff to come back at you? But instead of doing it, you're either letting it hit you in the face or you're dodging it. Like, I don't deserve that good karma. Let me get out of the way. That's what Patton is doing. He wants to throw all the good stuff out and get good stuff for all these people in Thomas's life and all these other situations in Thomas's life. But he's not willing to catch the karma, the good karma that comes back at him. He doesn't want Thomas to catch it. He wants him to dodge it. He wants him to redirect it. For some reason, he doesn't want Thomas to also feel that same good karma. He would rather it pass him and go on to somebody else, which is really weird. I don't know why Patton would do that, other than the fact that Patton thinks it's selfish to think about himself, which is a very important reason as to why Patton and Deceit should work together. Very important. And definitely is exactly. He's being selfish in a way that's causing Thomas to act selfishly and be in a selfless way, and that's not good. And I think it's because Patton doesn't want to work with Deceit. He doesn't think Deceit is necessary because of the black and white split of what's positive and what's negative. In the sense that, like, Patton thinks lying is completely wrong all the time, 100%, and it's not. And he also thinks that being selfish is 100% wrong all the time, that you should never do anything for yourself, that you should always choose to do something for someone else. And that's not necessarily true. And I don't think Patton's depressed. I think he needs to be retaught. He almost needs to be rewired. Because of Thomas's upbringing, it's almost as if Patton himself was manipulated into thinking that this is what is right. he wasn't shown an accurate way of showing what is right. That's kind of how I see it. And I got really distracted. We're already an hour in. I've got somewhere to be at 2:00, so I can't stay here forever. So yeah, and I think in Daffodil Days, I think that's what it is. The more I think about it. But we're gonna restart the video. I'm at 6:48, and I'm gonna try to watch a little bit more before I talk again. You're an adult, but Remus is here, so you do think it's funny. Roman saying that is funny. Okay, I paused it again at 8:22. So okay, the part there where Patton realizes why Anna is so easily manipulated by Hans is because for her entire life, no one's wanted anything to do with her. She's been locked in this castle with just the people who live in the castle, very, very little staff, and Elsa really hasn't spoken to her. Anna's literally been trapped in her own mind, and it's kind of like I don't know. It's definitely something that is another apparent thing when it comes to Frozen is that like it's not a good thing that Anna falls in love with Hans so much because she's not in love with him. She's in love with the idea of being in love with him and someone loving her back because her whole life no one has loved her back, at least from her perspective. She's been caught in this spiral of everything being locked out for her entire life. So not only did their parents screw up Elsa and make her paranoid about what everybody thinks around her, they also screwed up Anna in the process. And to be honest, Anna and Patton are kind of alike because of the idea that CJ? I felt like somebody was knocking on my door. That was weird. Oh, okay. Sorry. But yeah, like it seems like Anna and Patton are actually kind of alike because of the fact that they both were put in a similar negative situation. Very funny, Maxie. That where they were both very happy souls that were put into a negative situation and have tried to make the best out of that negative situation. For Patton, it was being put in a situation where Thomas's morality is all black and white, where like there's either something happy or something sad. There is no in between there. And Patton has chosen to ignore all of the all of that stuff and tried to stay completely happy in the same sense where Anna kind of pushes back all of her sadness to purposely try to find something happy to move on with her life, and the first thing she finds is Hans, and she just grabs onto him. She just latches, and I think that's pretty important. So we're gonna restart watching again at 8:22. Okay, so I'm not quiet for any reason. I'm watching, so you can follow along with me. Timestamp is 8:22. Okay. Okay, so I posted at 9:58. Okay, so the whole thing of the bridge analogy is really important too, because obviously Patton wants to wait because he sees the bridge as dangerous, because what if it breaks while they're on it? And what if they go on the bridge and something happens and they're not able to continue on the bridge anymore? And then you also have Virgil's side of it, who already sees the bridge is crumbling. He already sees that it's breaking and we need to run across it now, because what if it breaks and then we can't cross it? And Virgil's is a little bit more of an accurate statement, at least in my opinion. That's how I see it. But I also kind of see Roman's perspective too, where like you have to like, oh goodness, I'm trying to get in my words here, but like obviously we, like, Roman kind of says we need to let things settle and then appear. So he also sees the crumbling bridge, but he also sees it as a bridge that will repair itself over time. Whereas it's three different perspectives on one situation, and I think that in this specific situation, I feel like Virgil and Roman's perspective is better. Um, Waiting a little bit and then approaching it, rather than just ignoring it and hoping the bridge is still there later when it comes time to talk. Um, I think it's better to let things settle and then go, rather than doing it immediately. And my leg fell asleep. Maxie, I have to be somewhere at 2 o'clock, so I'm gonna have to end this in like probably about 30 minutes. But anyway, I'm gonna restart at timestamp 9:58. So if anybody's watching along. The whole fucks the reindeer is hilarious. Okay, so I stopped it at 11:03. Okay, so So the stuff with Roman, like not understanding the frozen heart thing, like why Olaf's sacrifice wasn't considered an act of true love. I agree. A lot of this stuff when it comes to Frozen, I'm glad me and Thomas kind of saw the same ideas. Because I've thought that for a long time. Almost just like, Olaf was willing to melt for Anna. Why isn't that enough? I always thought that was kind of weird. But then you were jumping back into Virgil panicking uh, about the guy they're talking about Thomas at the party. So we'll get back into that so we can kind of see. This is the downward spiral one, I believe. So let's see. Okay, so I paused it at 11:47. So yeah, everything that Logan and Roman say in this scene is very important because I don't have very many friends. Never really have. Growing up, I was a loner. I didn't really talk to too many people. I had friends in middle school, several friends, but I never really felt like I really belonged. I never felt like I really did anything that like a regular friendship circle would do. Like we really didn't hang out all that often, and like if we did, we just kind of went out and walked around the mall or something, like really boring stuff. So the idea that like I understand Virgil's panicking of not knowing what the guy's gonna say to all of Thomas's friends that are at this party. Because my anxiety does that too. My anxiety will sit there and say, mine goes to my coworkers because I feel like a lot of my coworkers dislike me. So my coworker, it jumps to that saying, what if they're talking about you right now? Like I'll be walking in the store and I'll see two of my coworkers talking to each other, and instead of thinking that they're talking about work, my brain is thinking that they are talking about me, and they're saying, oh well, Riley doesn't know how to do, well, they don't say Riley, they say Amanda, but you know what I mean. They'll be like, well, Riley doesn't do this or Riley doesn't do that. Riley's a crappy worker. Riley keeps walking away. Riley doesn't do this and blah blah blah. And that's how my brain works. That's how my anxiety works. And I think that like the idea of Logan and Roman both bringing very specific ideas into it, because Roman obviously represents romance, but he also represents connections with people. He is the love part of Thomas, so he understands both romantic love and platonic love. And I think it's important to note that Roman's just like, well, if your friend, like if he's really gonna act like that, like the actual person, like if he's actually gonna treat you like that, then he wasn't a good friend anyway. So why are we even worried about losing him? And then Logan sitting there saying, if your other friends take his word as the gospel, then they weren't worth being friends with you anyway, because they should not assume that that person knows exactly what you're talking about. They should come talk to you. And anytime you have that with friends, you should definitely know that, like, if you have a friend that comes up to you and immediately yells at you and tells you, oh, you're a terrible person because so and so told me this and blah 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 blah, then you need to drop that friend, because there's no reason why they should automatically jump down your throat without coming to you first. They should honestly be like, hey, I heard from so and so that you believe this and this, or you did this and this. Is that what happened? Please explain to me your side of the story. That's a real friend. That's a friend that doesn't want to sit there and, you know, automatically, I can't even like say what the word I'm trying to say, doesn't want to automatically insult. They trust you as a person, that they want to hear your side of what's going on rather than just their own side. So I think that's very important, and it does help Virgil to calm down just a little bit. So we're going to restart at 11:47. Okay, so pause at 12:55. Okay, so that was Virgil's minute-long rant. Okay, this is exactly how anxiety works, and Thomas's portrayal of Virgil here is very, very good. Because that is how you see things. I think it's very important to remember that we all do things that we regret. And yes, Thomas yelling at this guy about, not supporting gay rights when he was younger or feeling awkward around certain things isn't good, obviously, because Thomas is a gay man. So and I've been in this situation before where I've had people like who don't know who I am, like new coworkers or just random strangers that I have to help at work, that'll be like they'll say something offhand about being gay or about um racism in some way, and 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 it offends me, and sometimes I do jump to be like, hey, I'm gay, hey, I'm a person of color, I don't think that joke is funny, like, can we not do that? And it's better to do it like that rather than be like, yeah, you're, rather than just being like, oh my god, you're so offensive. So yeah, yelling at somebody isn't a good thing. But I think it's also important to note that we are human too, and it's okay to have those jump to conclusions because you're human. You're going to jump to a natural conclusion. Um, so I think it's okay. Like Thomas jumping to this conclusion is okay. And I think that over time that it would be okay to have this kind of how you perceive yourself to others. Like you're not allowed to see yourself in a good light when it comes to anxiety. It's always, what if they think that I meant it like this? What if they think I said it like this? And it's really hard to not jump on that. Bye, emo nightmare. See you later. But yeah, so that's my whole thing of the thing. So I'm gonna finish the episode now, so we can talk about it a little bit before I have to go. So I'm just gonna finish the episode. We are restarting at 12:55. Look, it is a cool teacher. He's a cool teacher. He's a cool dude. It's a double analogy there. I love this list of all of Logan's list of Elsa's powers. Patton's analogy is very good though. The sea totem is so good. I love Virgil. Oh hell yes. Okay. What is up, Thomas? Okay, so we're finished. Okay, so we're at 1820. Okay, so that entire ending is fantastic. Like I love it. I also like the idea. I'm kind of with both Patton and Virgil on the end there, whether or not Olaf should live, and like Thomas's rewrite of Frozen to where like where should Olaf come back to life? Does it ruin his sacrifice if he comes back to life? And part of me is like, as a writer, yes, it does. I feel like it does because um because of the fact that the sacrifice doesn't really mean anything if the character doesn't actually die. But I can also be with Patton. I don't like movies where characters die that I like, and I think Olaf's kind of cute. So yeah, no, I don't think. I think it would have been like Daffodils. It would have been interesting, like maybe the second movie, like something happens and Olaf is like resurrected for some reason. Um, but yeah, no. So like the whole rewrite scene is really great because you get to see um Logan's happy because Virgil's now thinking about the movie. He's not thinking about the situation anymore. He's been fully distracted. So Logan's really happy. And then you also have Roman who's just on a creativity roll and it's awesome. It's just so good. And then I do think that Patton's analogy with love is an open door is very important because love isn't an open door. Love is the door that we have to open for ourselves. It's not something that's going to be open from everybody because I can't find I didn't find CJ because I had my love door open. My love door's been shut for a very long time. And CJ, when they worked their way into my life, it was more of a my door is unlocked, but I want someone to open it for themselves. I don't want to have to open the door for somebody, I want them to let themselves in. I want them to have the courage to open the door themselves and come into my life, rather than having to go up to them and be like, you want to go on a date, you want to do all this stuff. And ukulele, you're right. Like, someone has to give you the key to open their love door. Like, my door is unlocked, or I have a key, but I want to, the person I want to let in. Patton's analogy is perfect. It is. And that's the kind of Patton I want to see more of. Gosh dang it. The second he said that in this episode, I was just like, Patton's back. Like, actual Patton is back, because that's what I want. I want more serious Patton who understands that that analogy is perfect for Patton. It's just perfect. I love that scene so much in this episode, because we got to have serious Patton. I love the whole rewrite idea. It's actually very similar to what I thought when I wanted to rewrite Frozen. It's actually pretty similar. All right, hold on. Excuse me. Anyway, but yeah, so, and I also just love Virgil's little, like, oh hell yeah, whenever Roman's talking about the idea of the rewritten of Frozen, and Virgil's just like, hell yeah, this is great, I love it. But yeah, and I love how Remus is like, yeah, this fanfiction's boring, I'm gonna go to sleep in the buff. Remus is hilarious. Remus is really funny. I need a fidget cube, by the way. I'm going to break my headphones. I've been messing with this other earpiece the entire time. I keep taking the little squishy thing off, because I keep messing with it. I need a fidget cube. But anyway, so that was the episode of the Sanders Asides. Okay, Maxie, I'll see you later. I'm actually about to leave myself. Anybody have any quick things they want to mention, talk about? It doesn't have to be about this episode. It can be about anything. I've got about, I don't know, I say maybe I'll give it like 10 minutes, because we have to leave to meet somebody. But in Buff is talking about a naked body. When they talk about in the Buff, like, Buff is known as like naked. May, how was Hamilton? Hamilton was great. I have re-listened to that soundtrack like 17,000 times, as CJ, and I am stuck on the first song. Alexander Hamilton is like my favorite song on the flipping soundtrack. It takes me 20 minutes to get past it, because I listened to it at least 6 times, if not more than that. I just keep, it's like, oh, it's over, repeat. It's over, repeat. I love that song. It's so good. It's so, I hate it, but I love it. I love it, but I hate it. Oh, gosh. I love it, but I hate it. I do have Thanksgiving plans. That's actually what me and CJ are about to go do. We're meeting someone to go have a Friendsgiving with this afternoon. Hurricane is a great song. It is. The whole soundtrack is so good. Like, gosh, Hamilton's just good overall, man. I'm gonna be listening to that for like months. Yeah, I love the whole chocolate fondue. Whenever he's like, yeah, no, I'm so like high on the fucking chocolate fondue. I like how much Roman cusses in this. It's so funny. I want to have him cuss a little more in my fanfics. It has to be it's canon that he cusses now, so you gotta be like, oh well, shit, gotta add more cussing in. I don't think Roman was necessarily doing it because of dealing with intrusive thoughts. I mean, obviously he was annoyed that Remus kicked him out, but yeah. Oh, I know there's a little Logan scene at the very end. I know. I don't have time to watch it, unfortunately. I have to go. But there's I've seen it. I have my react. You'll get my genuine reaction from that. It'll be a lot funnier than what I would react to here. Oh gosh, Sydney, You'll Be Back is so good, dude. Oh my gosh, King George is hilarious. Like the guy that we had at our play, it wasn't the Broadway cast because we saw it in Pennsylvania. It was and I think it was the Angelica cast. They did good, and the guy that played King George, oh my god, he was hilarious. He was so good. He just the way he threw his own curve onto the lyrics was really good. That's what I hear when I listen to it. It's just he was really good. Oh, you've memorized the cabinet battle? I have a hard time listening to music without lyrics to memorize. So I'm working on all the songs. I have to read the lyrics and listen to it at the same time, so it's kind of difficult for me to do that. My favorite moment in Hamilton. Gosh, I think it's the interpretation of the scene where Burr shoots Hamilton. The interpretation of the bullet coming at him and the whole idea of his life kind of flashing before him and how he knows that his son's on the other side, his mom's on the other side, and just the idea, is he done with everything? Does he want to accept this? Does he want to dodge? And Hamilton stays true and does the same thing his son does and shoots in the air. I feel like that scene is really, really good. Really made me cry almost. I really got sad watching that scene. That scene really almost got me. Um, and then I also really love The Winter's Ball. And I really love the lyrics of that, we're reliable with the ladies. It's just funny. It's so hilarious. That's probably my favorite funny part. Let me say that. Oh no, my camera won't focus on me. Hi, camera. That's actually a really good idea, Philip, to have that the blow us all away and with this quiet uptown. Is that why your name is Philip Hamilton? I just now noticed. Is that why you like it? You guess you do. Or is that your actual name? But that's actually really cool. I only saw the Catch trailer like once and it really kind of freaked me out, so I didn't really watch it again. I don't really have an opinion. Um Burn is so good though, guy. Oh my god. That whole soundtrack is golden, okay? It's so difficult. I love the Ten Duel Commandments too. Whenever they, it's the Ten Duel Commandments. I love that. That's so good. Eliza's such a good character. Like, if I had to pick a favorite character, it would probably be Eliza. Eliza or Angelica. I do really like Lawrence, and obviously I really like Hamilton. But yeah, like Liza's she's awesome. I want to see Dear Evan Hansen. I have not seen it, and I want to. I really like some of the songs on there. Oh, The Room Where It Happened. I love that song. The beat of that song is so funny. I want to be in the room where it happened. The room where it happened. It's so funny. Oh gosh, I want to see Dear Evan Hansen. That's probably the next one that I want to see. I'm really interested in seeing that. I'm still sleepy. I'm also a little hungry. Good, we're gonna go eat. Oh no, Million! I just finished rewatching the entire thing with everybody. I literally just rewatched it. So whenever I post this, you can rewatch and hear all of my thoughts. I have to leave pretty soon, but oh, Emo Nightmare. I'm sorry. Right Hand Band is a very good song. Um, and one last time, yeah. Washington was portrayed very well in Hamilton. It's very good. Oh, okay, Phillips. You wanted to use a character that wasn't used. That's cool. Yeah, Phillips a good character. Um, you remember it happened as a bop. It is a bop. It's such a good song, guys. Oh my god, I'm fangirl over this freaking play. I loved it so much. Oh my gosh. See, I would need to do some research because I know I really did like I think this headphone out of my ear. Oh, my phone keeps vibrating. Let's see. Oh, we got credit card stuff going through. Sorry for the vibration, guys. Thomas posted on Twitter just now. Apparently, it's his first performance as Beast today, so that's cool. Evelyn, it's okay. That's how CJ is. CJ knows like all the songs, but when we saw it Saturday was the first time that they had ever seen it too. So. Oh, that's really cute, Jack. I uh I almost cried. I almost cried when Philip died, and then I almost cried at the end when Hamilton dies, and then I almost cried during the last song. You know, who lives, who dies, who tells your story. I almost died. I almost cried during that song too. Yeah, and I think it's interesting because like I was pretty big in history when I was a kid, and seeing what's similar and what's different is actually pretty cool. I actually think it's pretty neat. Um, I actually think Hamilton was done really well. I don't recognize those names, Paige. What are those from Hamilton? I don't know. I listen to it in my car, and I don't always have the digital screen on, so I don't recognize the names of those songs. What is that? Oh, I'm sorry, Walker. I hope you have a good day, honey. Oh no, I haven't. I guess I haven't listened to those. Then no, if they're not on the actual official soundtrack. Then no, I haven't. Actually, Emo Nightmare. I didn't tell you this, but if you search, if you search, what's it? What is it? I think it's $10. $10 man sings and goes to a new land. You can find it on YouTube. I didn't say that. I was gonna say I didn't say that. But yeah, somebody's got it up right now in 4 parts, I believe. But it's obviously not called Hamilton because it'll get taken down. But oh no, Curly B, I love the callback that that there is in all the songs in Hamilton where they reference the previous songs. Sydney, no, I haven't. I'm kind of new on the whole musical thing. I know of all these musicals. I've heard of all of them, but I purposely don't listen to the music before I watch it. The only exception to that was Dear Evan Hansen. But yeah, if you search on YouTube, I think it's $10 man sings and goes to a new land. Parts 1 through 4 is what it's called. And you can watch it. And it's the Broadway cast, which is even cooler. It's not the Angelica cast. It's the original cast. But the Angelica cast is very good. So if you find one that's not the original Broadway cast, but it's the Angelica cast, I definitely highly recommend it because they did a really good job. Yeah, I might have to look for some more theater stuff pretty soon. Oh, bye, Jay. I'll see you later. All right, guys. Well, I've got to get off here. This was fun. Um, I don't know. Let me see if I can find that, and I'll see if I can post it in the chat. So it should be in my watch history. Hang on. It may have been taken down by now. Hang on. I'm gonna find it. It should be in my watch history because, yep, there it is. It's still there. $10 guy. Okay. It's $10 guy finds. Okay. All right. So I'm going over to my Okay. Okay. Here is the thing that nobody should watch. There you go. There's the thing nobody should watch. But it's in 4 parts, I believe. But there's that. I did the thing. You're welcome. Go enjoy it because it's really good. Like the only reason like me and CJ and their parents even got to go see it was because CJ's mom won the ticket lottery that they do to give away tickets. But yeah, have fun, guys. Go enjoy Hamilton because it's a really good show. But that's it, guys. I'm gonna head on out of here. We have a Friendsgiving to go to. Thanks, Sydney. We will have fun at our Friendsgiving. Hope you guys have a very happy Thanksgiving for all of you in the States. Not as big of a fan of the connotation of Thanksgiving, but I do like the idea of being thankful for what we have. And being thankful for our friends and family that are there for us and that support us. So definitely spend time with your friends and family. Thank them for being there for you. Thank them for being a part of your life. I will see you guys next Saturday for another live stream. Also, very important to note, guys, obviously Black Friday is the next coming Friday. I might be pretty tired come Saturday because I have to work Black Friday. So if I'm a little exhausted, I apologize, but also be very kind if any of you guys go out and go shopping or whatever. Be kind to the retail workers. We're all being forced to work very long shifts and the things that they put in the ads, they send us like 6 of them and expect us to not have people that get pissed off. So please be very aware of that. I know most of you are from Europe, so like I know a lot of you aren't going to be Thanksgiving, but Black Friday still applies. So just and heck, and just try to remember, to be nice to everybody and try to be kind and have a good regular Thursday for everybody not in the States. But I will see you guys later. Let me get the black blob because you can't see him. Come here, Virgil. Oh, look at this boy. Oh, look at this big boy. He's so big now. Look how big he is. And I'm thankful for all of you guys. Thank you so much for your support all the time. I really appreciate it. I'm hoping to get out some more videos this next coming week since I will have Thanksgiving off. And I won't be working on Thursday. So I hope that all of you have a great day and have a great week. And this is my Virgil. This is my baby boy. This is Virgil. He's the man of the house because he's the only boy. But go enjoy the not Hamilton bootleg. And I will see you guys next weekend. Bye. Say bye, Virgil. Say bye, Virgil. Can you say bye? Say bye, Virgil. Say bye. Look at the screen. Say bye, Virgil. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you for supporting my mama's videos. Bye.